Delhi-NCR continues to grapple with the hazardous air as pollution levels show no signs of improvement. Air quality across many parts of the national capital remain in the very poor to severe category. According to data from the CPCB's Samir app, the overall air quality index of India as well as Delhi gets reported there. It is being said that in Delhi, it stands at around 365, placing it firmly in the very poor category. Now, as many as 16 monitoring stations across the city have recorded severe air quality, while the rest continue to report very poor levels. Among the worst affected areas, Anand Vihar recorded an AQI of 401 and Wazipur stood at 402, both in the severe category. Patparganj reported an AQI of 419, which is also considered to be severe. Several other locations remain dangerously polluted, with RK Puram at 375, ITO at 368, JLN Stadium at 361, Chandni Chowk at 359, City Fort at 338, all falling under the very poor category. With pollution levels remaining alarmingly high, health experts continue to urge residents to limit outdoor exposure, especially children, the elderly and those with respiratory conditions. Meanwhile, in view of the worsening air quality, GRAP Stage-IV has been implemented in Gurugram to ensure strict compliance with emergency measures. The district administration of Gurugram has introduced staggered office timings for all state government offices and municipal bodies. As per the revised schedule, state government offices, Municipal Corporation Gurugram and the Municipal Corporation Manesar will function from 8:30 am to 4:30 pm during the period of GRAP Stage-IV remains in force. Authorities continue to urge residents to avoid prolonged outdoor exposure while special advisories remain in place for children, the elderly and those with respiratory ailments. In fact, we are now joined in by Bhavreen Kandari, environmental activist. Bhavreen, we have seen responses coming in, but it's been a year-on-year problem. Every time we speak about it, there are solutions suggested, but once the winter season is gone, then you wait for the next winter to find out what is going to be the solution to this. How much of persistence is required on the policy front as well as from the citizens of Delhi to actually get to the bottom of this?
Yes, you're so right. It's such a, it's actually treated like a seasonal inconvenience, but it's really a public health emergency and serious governance challenge. What we experience every winter is a toxic mix of fog and pollution, which is smog. And thank you, of course, all your channel is saying it the right way, smog. But I'll take this opportunity to correct that when it's called fog, it's absolutely incorrect because fog is it's like a natural cloud near the, it's more nearer to the ground. It's the tiny water droplets. But smog is a type of air pollution. It's a mix of smoke, gases, fog, and which is harmful to the health and environment. So it's important to call it smog. And yes, so you're so right that all year round, it's actually what is being done throughout the year will reflect now. So it's the emissions that already exist in the air, and then with the the addition of course, additionally the temperature going low, the winds becoming stagnant, etc., then that adds to it. So the meteorological part of it is something that obviously cannot be changed, but the emissions can be controlled, and that needs, well, like you said, the complete, consistent, yearly, efforts. So whether it's your key sources like the vehicular, your construction, working on stubble, all the health, human impact. Now, of course, we know how it's, impacting us in health. Definitely, everybody's seeing those spikes in asthma, respiratory distress, cardiac cases, etc. But even on the economic side, how we are losing the work days, the school closures, the travel disruptions, all the healthcare costs. So a polluted city becomes less, of course, attractive for investment, tourism, and global, appreciation or talent. So all these things need to be checked. There have to be traffic curbs, even in GRAP-IV. Even at this time, there are terrible traffic jams. There will be always, because there is no, there are absolutely, laws have failed. Anybody and everybody parks a car wherever they feel like. There was nobody to check that. three lanes on a road everywhere, between two to three. The whole of Delhi is a parking lot, so that is causing a huge amount of jams. The all the various photo optics have to go, with the trying to do all these sprinkling, etc. That is needed. That's needed on the construction sites. The construction sites need air quality monitoring monitors there, the boards there, which clearly, transparently tell you, what the numbers are, etc. So those are the kind of things that will help check the thing. But how will it help? You need people, you need your officers on the ground. The green apps are not going to come running on the ground. And as we've spoken many times, and since 2019, it's being said that 50% of the pollution boards are vacant. They have vacant posts. So who is going to come and do this? Is there enough training? Do the departments have enough equipment? Are they trained? Are they trained for this quick reaction right now? So those are the kind of things that have to be worked out now for the whole year, that will then reflect in the coming year or years.
Interestingly enough, I have seen a very strange kind of an incident that was being, reported by one of the environmentalists who was closely following. And he said that during the time of winter, the middle class and the rich can afford the heaters, but the poor rely on coal, tires, and firewood. And that is also something that keeps the smoke within the limits of the city. He says that nobody, in fact, has looked into that aspect of heating as an important, an important need when it comes to winter.
Yes, very much. Of course, and we have no right to, tell them not to do it unless we give them the. See, air pollution is also a huge social issue. If your people, if there's a huge amount of poverty, and there's your own people are not looked after, then naturally it will reflect there. Though I must emphasize that these are not the people who are contributing to the major pollution. We have to also concentrate on the huge number of 300 kilometers, the thermal power plants, the in the name of waste to energy, all the emissions that are coming. The government themselves are the biggest violators. They are incinerating the waste of the city and the neighbor city in the name of waste to energy. So those are the kind of issues that should be actually also, one. Biomass burning is a huge issue, and also, but that comes with how you lift the people of your state and city. It's important for the state to look after your people. Naturally, if they have the means, they will. Nobody will like to burn wood and do this. So
Interestingly, you're saying something interesting. You're saying that one solution that is there for one aspect of a pollution problem is actually causing pollution in another area.
yes, and those are the bigger ones. You cannot compare. I mean, a thermal power plant, the emissions that they are creating, and the other industrial pollution. There is so much industrial pollution. Nobody is talking about it. Of course, the government has taken a stand, but that stand usually is on the paper, or a headline, or one of the newspapers that will publish it. But on the ground, there are innumerable violations that the citizens are showing on industrial, which are repetitive. So you have to come and take a stand there. I think the concentration should be, towards these bigger emissions, and then of course, like I said, every source of emission is important. Here, you should encourage. Why there were huge? I think I saw these directives to the RWAs, etc. They should be taken to task if they have not, especially the elite colonies where they've not been able to support your own guards, and even asking your own residents to support. So those kind of actions should be taken, and those RWA should not be given benefits, and they should be, and the ones who are doing it should be incentivized in certain ways. There are very easy ways of doing things, but the political intent is the most important. Because when we as citizens, as ordinary citizens, when we are doing something on the ground, so we the biggest hurdles are your own legislators, your own councillors, your own RWAs. They stand in the way, because there's again that power like, the fight for power, etc. So you need well-intended, moves by the government, by the citizens to make things like that happen. But I would still say that it's the policy, it's the governance which is going to change this. We cannot put the onus on citizens and say कि आप ये मत करिए और आप गाड़ी छोड़ दीजिए या ये करिए. They have to find ways. If you want to reduce the cars, you have to find ways to reduce the cars. First, you have to give us the public transport. Public transport is not metro. Public transport is buses. You need enough buses. You need lanes. Right now, I tweeted a picture from 2 days ago. A bus stop, which is an average bus stop, is like this, full of cars. The cars parked on the bus stops, and this is the city center. This was in the New Delhi area. So imagine what's happening all over Delhi. So you have to first correct everything there. Then ask the people to reduce cars. How you reduce cars? You could make one ways. You have to bring in congestion taxes. The people you are talking about right now who are burning biomass are the people who are inhaling emissions from our vehicles throughout the year. Probably they and their children will never sit in a private vehicle all their lives. So you have to, understand that there is a huge amount of there's a equity issue, and everything will have to be done, systemically and more, logically.